And what's worst case scenario with Mexico?
Worst case scenario would be if Jalisco New Generation penetrates north of the border and it changes our political discussion to be very anti-Mexico. One of the great achievements, in my opinion, of the Trump administration is convincing America's hard right that Mexicans are part of the family and taking one of the biggest looming racial issues in the United States and just dissolving it. If Americans start to think of Mexicans as drug runners again, regardless of why, that damages our most productive trading relationship and our most brilliant opportunity for our future right out of the gate.
But what is the worst case scenario in terms of the cartels overwhelming the Mexican military? Because it does seem they have
You're asking all the fun, cheery questions.
Yeah. Well, that's why you're here, bro. Yeah. I'm here to get freaked out.
Our advantage with Mexico so far is because they haven't had to fight a war in a long time, that the military is not particularly competent, but it's still armed. And so when you bring it into the system, they hit with a punch that compared to the normal local security services is really impressive. But every time a armed group of the state has been brought into the fight, the cartels have found a way to corrupt it. And if you do that to the military, we could have a very real problem here. Think Chicago at the height of Al Capone, but on a national scale.
Jesus Christ.
We're not there yet, but that would be the concern.
Now, how much effort is the United States putting to mitigate this? And how much policy is directed towards trying to steer this in the right direction?
This is one of those where being a border country is a negative because, we may be great trading partners and to a degree friends and integrated economically and demographically, but we're always going to be titchy about the other one telling us what to do. Trump and AMLO got along great because Trump really never asked anything of AMLO. He said, as long as you take steps to limit Central American immigration into the United States, I'm going to be hands-off on everything else. And so relations were pretty warm. Biden comes in and takes a much more traditional American approach. So it's about immigration, it's about drugs, it's about rule of law, it's about investment. And AMLO is like a really, really angry Trump. And he sees this all as unnecessary challenges to him personally. So the relationship between between Biden and AMLO is really poor. And in that sort of environment, it's been very, very difficult for anyone in the U.S. bureaucracy to have a productive relationship with anyone south of the border. So most drug extraditions have stopped, most law enforcement cooperation has stopped, most intelligence sharing has stopped.
So we're just leaving that and watching it play
because
out.
the Mexicans shut the door on us. Yeah. Well, AMLO specifically. I don't want to put credit for that anywhere but on him.
What's the best case scenario?
Well, there's term limits in Mexico. AMLO will be gone in a year and a half. So we will get a new person. Now, who will that person be? Way too soon to know. But you can only serve for 5 years as president of Mexico.
That's it?
Yeah. So they've got a very, very bad one right now. We'll see who's next.
Oh, Jesus. And that's right there.
Yep.
So the whole world's fucked.
Yeah, that's a bit of an overstatement, but we've got some challenges.
So, but it's making me more optimistic about America.
Yeah, our economic system is broadly positive. We've got a great partner for the most part. Energy, there's
a great partner?
Mexico's our largest trading partner, and they have what we need. So, this is a relationship of partners that's facing challenges. I think we'll get through this. Remember that 1 in every 6 Americans now has genetic links into Mexico. So, this is a family argument. This is a good argument, believe it or not. We're never going to have a food crisis. We're the world's largest food exporter. We're never going to have an energy crisis. We're the world's largest energy producer. And we're bit by bit by bit bringing in countries to our kind of a friends and family plan. So Japan is already on board. Hopefully the Brits will be there before long.
How do you sleep at night?
Easily.
But do you really with all this information? I would imagine that this would keep me up. I imagine it'll keep me up tonight.
Yeah.
Just thinking about.
If you focus on the negative, you're never going to sleep.
How do you manage to? Are you medicated? How do you?
Oh, well, I get migraines. There's no doubt there. But I focus on the fact that we've got the greatest opportunity for economic expansion in the history of our country. And it's not just us. It's Canada and it's Mexico as well. This is going to be a great story. We're going to emerge from this in 10 years in so much of a better place. And we're hopefully within 10 years, it'll probably be more like 15 or 20, be able to then go back and reintegrate with the world and, share what we've learned and remake the human condition. This is a once, not in a generation, this is a once in a century opportunity to overhaul what being human means. And I'm really excited about where this leads us. I just wish we could bring more countries with us along.